After measure step, our next step is analyze. On the basis of the measure step and the information that we had in the define step, we analyze the relationships between the inputs and the outputs and the factors that are influencing the outputs and how they are influencing it. In this step, first we determine cause and effect relationships. Cause and effect relationships are the ones that the what is the thing that is causing something. So there is a cause and there is an effect. There is a cause which causes some effect, and what is the relationship between the two, whether it is deteriorating or improving something, or whatever those relationships are. Means by increasing cause, the effect increases, or by increasing the cause, the effect decreases. So these are the type of relationships that we can analyze in this process depending on the measurements that were made in the previous step. And then to understand the sources of variability, what are those sources which are causing variability in the process. And in the cause and effect relationships, the tools that are useful are control charts, hypothesis testing, confidence interval estimation, regression analysis, and discrete event computer simulation. So these ones, the statistical parts, we will study in next lectures. You have already got a little bit of introduction about control charts, and in further lectures we will study hypothesis testing, confidence interval, and regression analysis also. And these discrete event computer simulations are typically used for services businesses and transactional businesses more than the manufacturing businesses. So in addition to these useful tools, there is another one which is FMEA. FMEA is the failure modes and effect analysis, which can help us in understanding the cause and effect relationships. So in this FMEA, we prioritize the sources of variability and errors. With the help of this number, we get this number RNP, which is risk priority number. And the risk priority number is calculated on a certain criteria, which is this one. There are three criteria: likelihood of something that will go wrong. We give it a score 0 to 10, that how likely is to get something wrong. Is it very likely, or it is very less likely, or it is not likely at all? Not likely, we give 0 marks. If it's extremely likely that something will go wrong, we'll give it 10 marks. And the second is the ability to detect failure or error. We give it certain score and severity of failures, defect or error. We give certain marks. So once we give these scores, we multiply them and we get a risk priority number. This risk priority number will help us in prioritizing the risks that we need to tackle first and the ones that we can hold on or can tackle later on. So when we go for understanding the sources of variability, there can be two causes which can cause variability in the process. These can be categorized into two types of causes. One is common and the other one is assignable. The common causes are those which are intrinsic or embedded in the process, and the assignable are the ones which can be assigned or which are caused by some external sources. So in order to overcome the common causes which are embedded in the system, we need to change the process. We need to make a change in the process. For example, if it is a service, or if in the process there is a person who is not trained well enough, so the variability is being caused because of that person. So we need to replace that person, or we have to provide training to that person. And assignable causes are due to external sources, and it can be because of a faulty part in a machine that we can simply remove, and the process will be just fine. The variability will be reduced. At the end of this analyze step, we come to the review uh, stage, where the project manager will review the performance of this system, of this step, that whether all the objectives have been achieved or not, based on these questions: that what opportunities are going to be targeted for the investigation in the improve step. Improve step is the step that is after the analyze. So the next step is improve step. So what opportunities are going to be targeted for investigation in the improve step, and what data and analysis supports what that investigating the target opportunities, and improving or eliminating them will have desired outcome on KPOVs. Remember, KPOVs are key performance output variables. So what will be the effect on KPOVs and customer CTQs that were original focus of the project? And are there other opportunities which are not going to be further evaluated? If so, why? Is the cost project still on track? If the project is still on track with respect to the time anticipated outcomes, are any additional resources required at this time? So on the basis of these questions, the evaluator or the project manager will assess the success of this step and will decide to let you go to the next step, which is improve, based on the analysis which is developed during the analyze step.